Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I spoke a little too soon about the rain, but now it is 20th Friday. It feels like a Saturday because there's no school today, no work today. And then it's been raining all afternoon. I hope everyone is safe. I am Wanjiko Mriki, a counseling psychologist based in Kenya. This month, the month of March, we are going through the book of Proverbs every single day from the 1st of March to the 31st of March. And Proverbs has 31 chapters. So every day a chapter. And we look at what does it say about narcissistic partners? What does it say about toxic, abusive partners? What does it say about you who's been abused? And do you know what it says? Or are we all stuck with God hates divorce and you're stuck stranded in that relationship forever? So, in Proverbs 20, still more wisdom, more sayings of Solomon to us. Like this Bible was written centuries ago, but the truth that it carries, I don't know if all of you are feeling it or is it just me and you're like, wow, 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 wow. So, what is Proverbs saying today? On this amazing, beautiful day of 20th, it's weighing a majority of Proverbs 20 is weighing weight, the weight of the buyer who says, useless, useless, useless after buying something. But in the end, he's like, oh, y'all don't know what I got. It's talking about how the Lord detests someone who's going to buy something or someone who's selling something but has messed up with the weighing. Like a long time ago we used to use what are they called, those things that you use to measure so that they can balance. It's still a weighing scale, but then nowadays they become more electronic and they will mess. I remember there's a time I used to work in a butchery, my dad's butchery. As we didn't do this, but it made me very keen when I go to the shop. Like you'll go to the shop and ask the shopkeeper to sell you half a kg of sugar. So example, this is sugar. At least there's no label. This is sugar, and this is the part that is this one is a part that they've put the weight so that when the weight goes up, it means this is not as heavy. If this one goes up, it means that the scale is heavier, so we need to reduce sugar. And you'll find, so the balance is this, and this is how you'll know this half a kg is equal to this half kgs. But you'll find some shopkeepers who will hold this down, this down, so that they don't sell you the exact weight of half a kilo, maybe to be slightly less than half. But imagine if they sell slightly less than half to 10 people, that's a whole other half kg. So if it was 60 bob, they'll have an extra 60 shillings. So the book of Proverbs talks about that the Lord does not like such things. However, there's a verse that says, a couple of verses, but there was this one in particular that is asking us, no, first, yes, this one is asking us that if we can be able to tell, the exact words are, let me get them. Even small children are known by their actions. So, is their conduct really pure and upright? That is, if like these ones are children, and children are innocent souls. They don't have any hidden agenda. So if you can tell a child what it is that they are bringing to you or what it is they are looking for, whether good or bad, because we have children who throw tantrums because they are looking for attention from you, or they feel that you're giving other people more attention and they'll come to you, or they'll throw tantrums. Or those children who feel, and especially in our day to day, if you're always on your phone, but the minute your child cries, screams, you'll drop that phone and give them attention, then they will keep doing that. So it's asking you, if you can tell this from a child, how about grown-ups? wouldn't we know them by their actions? Wouldn't we be able to tell the position of their hearts by their actions? And you remember, we are talking about not everybody, because not everyone is the same, but there's this particular category of personality disorder, right? And you're being asked, wouldn't you be able to tell by what they show you? And also, we are told, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Not what they tell you, but show you. And I'm sure that, like this one, I'm sure, for all the people who have found themselves in a narcissistic, abusive, toxic relationship, there were signs. An example, when you start dating or courting someone, not date one, not date two, maybe date one, they can be able to hide a bit, but you will see how they're talking to the waiter, how they talk to the makanga, how they talk to someone who's less than them. But when you've been with this person for some time, now you see how they interact with their family. You know, the sheep cloth is off. Now we can see you for who you are. And you will check and listen to, how does this person talk to the mother or talk to the father? And also we are told in Proverbs, I think it was yesterday, that a foolish person is the one who is going to curse the mother and disrespect the father. And so you will listen to this person. What's their tone? You know, you can argue with your parents. That's given. You argue. But you know, there are those ones that you will have a tone that is very demeaning to them, or demeaning to their sisters or brothers. And remember, and I will keep saying this, narcissism, toxicity, abusive is not only the male, but it's also the female. So you will listen to them either giving an instruction to the parents, or asking the parents to do something, or even the parents are asking them to do something for their partner to do something for them. And when you listen, and you listen keenly, you don't even need at super ears. Nope. You just need to be there, sit and listen. Just like a child, just listen. And you will hear the disrespect. You will hear the tone of demeaning tone. You will hear a tone that is not respectful to the parent. And of course, there's going to be a tone where you will see there's no, not really respect, but then there's no fear of the parent. Not that you need to fear them, but you know, fear of that they are older than you. When you go out somewhere, we say an example, a restaurant, and maybe your waiter or your waitress makes a mistake with your order or takes a bit too long to serve your order. How does this person react to them? You see, like a child, you know, like a child, their behavior will tell you anything that you need to know. Even with these partners, their behavior will tell you. So you're sitting there and you listen, and yes, you might hear something, even if love will blind, and love blinds us, but we need to question, is it love, is it lust, is it desperation, like what is it? And so you will sit and you will listen, and you will assume, like you remember a few days ago we were talking about red flags turning green. But when you sit there, you will assume they can talk to the other party in the way they are, which is demeaning, disrespectful, violent even, but you never see it coming to yourself. You never at any moment sit like this and wonder, or even think, is the way this person is talking to a person who stepped on their toes, that it can turn back to you. That, and when it turns back to you, that it can even be worse than to them. We give an example of a father, a man who speaks ill to the mother. You may say, or they may give you the reason that this woman is always disturbing, she's always nagging, she's always asking for this and the other. You know, village people don't know or understand this or the other. And then it shifts to you. But you, babe, you're really, good person, you're understanding. This is to, do I say, to blind you a bit more. You never think that this is the same person who carried this human being for 9 months, breastfed them, changed their diapers, had sleepless nights with this child because they were unwell, or whatever other rough road, rough patch, good patch that they went through is the same one that is being spoken to you to like this. And then you who has come with your whole 32 teeth, you're assuming this person will never speak to me like this or will never treat me like that. Little do you know that they've already shown you and you said accepting, and you walk yourself to the slaughter with this person, not knowing that things will turn against you. However, there's another group, and still in Proverbs 20, and it says, the purposes of a person's heart are deep, deep waters, but one who has insight draws from them, draws out of them the deep, deep purposes of the person. Here, it's not telling you good or bad. It's actually leaving it open to you. So in this particular moment, if you have discernment, or if you're sharp, or if you have wisdom, and you are careful with what you see, or if you've also gone through therapy and you know these things, then you will be able to sit back, observe, and draw out from whatever that person has done. And drawing them is not asking, just you asking there, why have you talked to your mom like this? No. It's you sitting back and observing. What actions is this person bringing forward? And remember, we've said, let's, marriage is not something that you want to joke around with for anybody. Because this is where two become one. So you sit back and observe, and really observe with a third eye. Because as also Proverbs 20 has told us, eyes, ears, the Lord has given them, so he has. Ask him, open up these eyes and take off this thing that is lust, or this thing that I'm assuming, quote unquote, is love, and let me see it. And trust you with openness, without lust, without desperation. And with the love of God, you will see. And you will see, and you'll be able to analyze and take note of this person is truly showing me who they are. How am I going to respond? How will I take it? Will I walk into the slaughter with my eyes and ears wide open? Or is this where we count our losses and we move on? As I've said, Proverbs has picked wisdom from I don't know how many years ago to a wisdom that still applies to date. So when a child shows you, have you ever seen a child who's hungry? Like an infant who's hungry, not angry. They don't get angry as per se, but they get hungry. You'll change the diaper. You'll want them to sleep. You may have fed them, but it's not enough. That child is completely inconsolable. But they will keep going and going because the child may not be able to tell you it is hunger or it is thirst. But what they will do is to cry and cry and cry until you get it. That is when you can console that child. So this is why you're being asked, if you can know what the child requires based on their behavior. Even when they need mom's attention, even you can tell when a child has been abused because of how they will behave. Either they're going to retract and be in a cocoon, you will tell. Like, as long as you're observant, as long as you're keen in what is happening around you, you can tell. So if a child can communicate, and we assume that children don't know much, they actually know a lot. So if a child can communicate to you based on their behavior, how about an adult? So we can agree that if we have found ourselves in such relationships, it's not that someone changed, that there was a flip of them changing. No, they shown they showed us who they were, but we opted to turn our eyes on the other side or to cover our ears not to hear, because the belief was it will never come to you, right? That is it for today. Guys, keep safe, keep yourselves dry by carrying your umbrellas, drink a lot of water, and be safe. Something else, oh, this I would have really forgotten. Something else that Proverbs 20 states is that when you want to wage war and win, the exact word is, yeah. Plans are established by seeking advice. So if you wage war, obtain guidance. And the reason as to why you want to obtain guidance, it's because when you're living a narcissistic, toxic, abusive partner, that is war you're starting. You have had these stories are all over, of people who state you're not going to you will never be with anyone else if you're not with me. And for them, that statement is, please don't take it as a joke. Do never take it lightly, because this person will move heaven and earth to ensure that you don't get into a relationship with anyone else, even if it means killing you. So when you're being asked to seek advice, it's because there are those ones who have gone ahead of you. It can be a therapist who understands this kind of situation, because the process can be very lonely, it can be very scary, and it's also very draining. And if you have children, you need to know how to deal with them, and they also need help. So when you have decided this is the path I am going, and most of the times the path is I need peace, I don't want problems, then you need guidance, you need advice. And it's not just advice from people here and there. It's you will need advice from a therapist who understands. I'm saying therapist because we are very objective, not subjective. You will find that people who have been in this process, it can be lawyers who understand the system. It can be your family if they are supportive to you. And if your family is not supportive to you, then you need somebody else. But you need people who will guide you, not just anyone. Pick with wisdom, pick professionals, but also professionals that get it. So, my advice, my direction that I will give you is that look for a therapist who's registered, a legit one that will guide you in the process, and also for your children. That is it. We shall see you tomorrow on the 21st. Enjoy your holiday and enjoy the weekend, and see you.